From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Morreale and Hitch.
All right, welcome everybody. Another edition of the Morreale and Hitch podcast here in the Ticats Audio Network. I'm Mike Morreale, that's Rob Hitchcock. Hey, we're coming off back-to-back wins for the Ticats. And good ones, too.
We haven't said that in a long time. No, we haven't. And we're laughing. We're not laughing at them, right? We're not laughing.
This is good. We're getting to talk about some positive stuff.
Finally, 6 games they won this year. We've had not a lot of good things to talk about.
But now the energy is back. 6 games. Could make the playoffs with, 8? And could make it with less.
They could make it with 7.
Or 6.
I think I have this. I looked at the standings this morning, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. But just hypothetically, Ottawa beats Hamilton twice. Saskatchewan loses, Ottawa's in. Can you believe it?
That's crazy.
I'm almost, because they'll have the tied wins with Saskatchewan. They'll beat Hamilton twice, and they'll go through at 6-12. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
And they played Hamilton twice, and Calgary plays Saskatchewan twice the last 2 games, and Saskatchewan or Calgary wants to get home field playoffs, or for the playoffs they want the first home playoff game. So it's crazy. And then another scenario: Hamilton wins 1, Saskatchewan lose 1. They're in. Hamilton's in.
But if they're tied, Hamilton's in.
Yeah, and if Hamilton and Ottawa both win 1 game each, and Saskatchewan wins both, Saskatchewan's in.
You're kidding me.
Because they'll have 8 wins.
That's right.
I did that this morning quick. I'm like, you know what? Oh my God, there's so many scenarios. But
it's ridiculous.
But let's talk about the positive.
Let's do it.
Well, let's talk about the negative first. The first half, I don't know if you watched the game.
Oh, no, offensively was a disaster.
60 yards total offense. First half.
Disaster.
You can't do that. I don't know how they did against Calgary. I know how. Special teams and defense is what the first half. That's how they were winning. It was 14-7 or 14-10 or whatever at the first half. I forget what the score was, but Hamilton had 14 points with 60 yards.
It was crazy, and I thought to myself, I'm like, this is going to be a disaster. Because let's not forget the elephant in the room. The last time the Cats won in Calgary was when we played in 1999.
I thought it was 03. No, maybe that was Edmonton.
Oh, maybe it was 03. No, you might be right. Whatever it was, Danny Mac was playing.
Yes.
And I think his last year was 2003, so it very well could have been that year.
Butko, check that out for us.
Butko, get to work.
When's the last time the Cats won in Calgary? You might be right, but I heard 03.
But too. Whatever we say is right. We're
maybe
the Glenn Suitors of podcasting. Whatever we say, everybody believes, whether it's right or wrong. Because
he said something in that other game the other day about something, and it was just completely wrong. Completely wrong. These guys are in a cover 3 zone. No, Suitor, they were playing man-to-man. They weren't in the zone.
He should know.
He played
safety.
Come on. He was Butko.
First time since 2004.
Oh, 4. See?
2004.
So I was still playing. See?
Yes, so was I.
We might have went out that night.
We definitely went out that night.
and had a good time.
And I only know this because somebody saw it on CH and said, "Oh, last time was with you and Danny. You caught a touchdown." I'm like, "Nah, we had a good time after. That's all that matters."
Was Scott Coe and them with us? They must.
No, Scott would have came. He would have been in Calgary at that time, so we would have been out with him after. I'm sure.
Yeah, and Les and all those guys.
Oh yeah. We would have had a good time. Win or lose, drink the booze.
Yeah.
So that's good. We got that settled. The Cats are now, I think, again, they need some good stuff to happen, but in charge of their own destiny. If they win 2, they're in, right?
Yeah.
I think that's everybody
or
understands.
Or 1-1.
One and one.
If Saskatchewan loses 1, then they're in for sure.
Gotcha.
But they have to win. But anyways, you know what? Biggest game Friday night at home against Ottawa. And Ottawa's they're playing good. They played Montreal. I've watched them. I haven't been watching much of Ottawa lately, but the last couple of weeks I've been watching. I'm like, Trevor Harris, they're a good squad. Poor Lapo, eh?
Oh.
Geez, 3-6, 3-22 or something he was in, or 3-16. I don't know what he was. Not good.
Wasn't good. Hellboy, never mind those guys. Okay, well, but I think, but to your point, staying with Ottawa, they're not a terrible team. They've had some
No.
bad luck. Mazzoli went down early. They got a coaching change. Bob Dice is there. He always lights a little fire when the new coach comes in. So they're dangerous. You got to keep an eye out for them. That's for sure. But look at the Edmonton Elks. They haven't won a game at home in about 150 years.
1,100 and something days. Honestly. At home. And you know
how do you show your face?
It doesn't look like it looks like there's people in the stands because all the seats are colored green and yellow and different colors. So it looks like jackets.
There's nobody there.
4,000 people there. Maybe. It's sad. There. Edmonton was the premier.
Oh yeah.
Premier Edmonton. Edmonton was Edmonton. It was those guys. You wanted to watch those guys. Yeah.
But I mean, from an organization point of view, they were the best of the best. And no disrespect to anybody else.
Chris Jones is there again, right?
Chris Jones is there.
Yeah.
He's not
He's
doing
too
bad.
Go back to university. Right? Come on. He was making probably $500,000 in university. Come back.
It's just amazing the swagger people have when they win. And when they lose, they don't see you too much. Talk too much.
You know what I also see? I also see before we about the coaching turnover in our league is still the same. Guys get fired. Then they're an offensive coordinator somewhere. Benavides for BC, head coach there for a lot of years. A coordinator, great coordinator, defense. Now he's somewhere. I saw him on the sidelines the other day. He's doing some coordinating. Everybody is cycled.
They just go in a circle. It's like a carousel.
Yeah. They get paid. It's like, okay, well, he didn't do well there. We'll bring him in. Well, if he didn't do well there, what's he have a job for? I don't know.
Unbelievable. I don't get it.
But I guess maybe it's the new. You need a new look on life. You go somewhere else. It's fresh.
You need to hire new people that have new looks on life and spread the wealth. Because, again, I mean, how many kicks at the can are you going to get? I love Lapo, but I mean, I don't think Lapo's going to get a head job again. I mean, how can you after those results? Yeah, the assistants can have those same results and then just bounce to the next team. And bounce to the next team.
He's still pretty young.
He's young.
He's a good coordinator. Winnipeg, he was set with Winnipeg. Stay with Winnipeg, get 3 more rings, and then go somewhere. But that's a dynasty you got to stay with. If you're a coach, and I get it, you get an opportunity to go be a head coach, gone. You got to go. But man, you got something good. He was good in Winnipeg. Stick. All the boys liked him.
Lapo's always been great. He got into some situations where, as head coach, it just didn't work out. I don't know what to say, man. It happens. Yeah. It happens. What are you going to do? Hey, we have a special guest today. No one's telling us who it is.
No.
And they're coming on here, I think, in 5 minutes. And then we're supposed to look at our phones.
Yeah, no, nothing
for
yet.
Some sort of announcement.
Did you by chance eat a sandwich yet from that place?
I did, buddy. I did. It was delicious. It was not only that.
Did you get the peppers?
Try. No, I wanted to try. Yeah, I put the pepper spread. I got a nice
the
veal.
Spread, okay.
I got a nice veal on a bun. It was delicious. And then I was looking around. They got lots of frozen stuff there, lots of fresh sauce. They got everything in there.
Yeah,
it's a house.
So the door when you walk in. So you walk into the right. It's all where the fridge is.
Yeah,
the meatballs. Get the meatballs.
Oh, I gotta get the meatballs.
And then Kano, we're not pushing the name anyway. I didn't say the name because I don't know if we're supposed to say nothing.
Why?
So
they
got a lot of they got a lot of press.
Sponsorship. Oh,
yeah, we need a press. They got a lot of press, free press.
All that matters is that you and I get free sandwiches. That's all.
Exactly. That's right. That's right. I wish I have to go in there. Did you pay cash?
Cash only, buddy. Cash only. That's cash is king.
That's the best.
I can only buy so much.
Yeah, no credit. No credit. Really? No credit. Well, my bill's $340 cash. Oh, boy. Well,
good times. Good times, buddy.
What was I going to say? I had something to say. Oh,
well, you got your coffee? Just plain coffee? Or what do you got? A little Bailey's?
My daughter made this for me when Ava's 18 now. I think she made this for Father's Day. It's been in the thing a while. I love you, Dad. Something. She was about 4. Still using it.
Your video today's terrible, eh?
Why?
Terrible. Fuzzy. Butko, is this video fuzzy or is it just me?
Okay, hold on.
It might just be the internet connection.
Speaking of fuzzy, look at that. That was a great. I could have told you that.
Our listeners are going to have crystal clear video, though.
They are.
It does look clear. You're fuzzy to me. This looks clear to. I look clear. Anyways, are you going to the game Friday? Are you going to the game?
I, at this point in time, am not going.
Oh boy, just when they
But
need you to
that
support.
could change. I can change any minute. I just hadn't planned to go, but I have an open night. So
You should come on and do a little. Peter will get you on with me the 5 minutes before. We should do a little tandem.
If that involves like being outside in the cold, I'm gonna say no to that.
No, it's inside.
Where do you do it?
Oh, I do it usually over the phone.
4?
Oh,
of course
yeah.
you do it.
I do it over the phone.
I'm on the way in. I can't. There's an accident on the highway.
No, it's closed down. No, I do a little pregame for 4 or 5 minutes, and then
nice. I used to do that
phone.
back in the day.
Yeah, I used to. It's
you
easy.
Share the wealth. It's your turn now. Do your thing.
Yeah, no, gotta do it.
No, but it should be a good day. Should be a good game. I got an open night, so listen, I'm open to that. Sometimes I love being at the stadium. I like watching on TV too. Like I do too. It's a balance. Like there's something nice about I don't know. I don't want to dissuade people from going to the game because there's an experience at the game.
Tell Cadeau, Dave, we need 3 tickets and parking pass, and we're coming.
Parking is big. Parking is big. Parking's gold.
Yeah, but even Lot E, I'd rather pay $20 and park in someone's
come on, Dave, get us to somewhere close. We're old now. Hey, do you find now? Because I do. I hate the winter. My fingers or my back. Oh, everything's sore. I can't live here in the winter.
Can't stand it.
It's bad.
It's bad. Worst ever for me now. My hands too. Both. Everything's.
Oh my God.
Even I wear gloves. Forget it.
It's bad. I don't like it.
No.
Bucko, are we getting close here? You got a special guest. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
So let's talk a little bit more, Rob, about the game last night, the Bills game.
Oh.
Is Josh Allen not an absolute? It's ridiculous. Where'd this guy come from?
7th pick in the first round. Yeah, 240 can run. See him jump, that guy?
Oh, dude, he runs like he doesn't he doesn't shy away from nothing.
No.
That's a big dude.
He can throw. He's the main deal. I'm telling you. They built around him. They're good. Their defense is good.
Their defense is good. They fly around too.
And what's his name? Mahomes, of course. You can't leave him anything. He had 13 seconds last year. He came back and beat them. But
I know.
Just the announcers saying, "Oh, you don't want to leave Mahomes a minute left because he'll come down." But that interception, like he can throw. He reminds me of Flutie. Like he just off balance, throws sideways, just makes plays. But that kid that broke on that, made that interception at the end. That they needed that because they're going to meet in the playoffs. It's going to be a home field advantage for Buffalo. We should go to that game.
That'd be good.
I went to one game in Buffalo last year. It was a Monday nighter. The wind was like 100-mile-an-hour wind. I think there was one pass thrown by New England. One pass.
Come on.
One. That's it. The wind was that bad. And we went to that game. It was a Monday night. We got there around 4:30. I was dead tired by the game.
Oh yeah. How many people got punched out in the parking lot?
Not too many. It's just a zoo there. It's too much.
Zoo.
Once a lifetime's good to go, but I'm so tired. I was tired halftime. I think some guys went back to the bus at halftime. They did.
Do they still have the troughs? Like the urinal troughs? It's just it's like you're at a cattle farm. Do you remember those back in the day? Oh
yeah.
Disgusting.
I just had a bag. I had a bag tied up to mine. I just stayed in there. There's guys peeing. Hey, there was guys peeing right on the floor or on the ground.
Oh, that's disturbing.
They do.
That's disturbing.
If your glove falls down or you put your beer down, the pee drop. It comes down. No way.
Gross.
Disgusting.
Oh, Buck goes back.
Yeah.
Bucko, you're here for a purpose. Oh.
Guest is here.
Okay, Rob, check your phone.
Nothing's on
something here. Nothing's there. I don't know.
All right, Rob. Maybe it came as an email.
No, I'm sure it'll come.
Who do you think it is? Who do you think it is? Cavis Reed, Rob? Who do you think the guest is today?
I'm hanging up if it's him. Actually, no. Well, he'll come on. I'm going to ask him a few things.
All right, Bucko. Without further ado, would you please welcome the illustrious guest, which Rob and I do not know, to this podcast, and let's see if we can be wowed like we've been wowed.
Oh,
forget it.
Forget it. How do we hang this up?
Where's the off button?
Hey, there's leave. Hey, leave. Bye-bye. Sandy Beveridge.
You get to see me twice in a week, boys. I mean, how lucky can you be?
This is too much.
Why are you yelling?
Always.
You haven't even had any drinks in yet. Well, maybe you have. Maybe you had a couple drinks.
Well, listen. let's first of all welcome Sandy Beveridge to the show, number 19 in your program,
that's correct.
number 1 in your heart. And,
Yes.
Rob, you know Sandy quite well. Sandy was behind you often, on
Yes,
and
he-
off the field.
Yes, he was, and he was phenomenal. He was a great person. I love him very much.
Beveridge, what's going on, buddy? We're happy to
Yeah.
have probably one of the coolest names in sports, by the way.
Yeah,
I get
the
that-
Sandy Beveridge. Cool. You get that a lot.
I get that a few times, yeah. It's quite often.
Well, listen, tell us about you had a long career with the Cats. You left a bit early to go and do something that you're still doing now, and that's
right.
being firefighting. Just tell me, how was that transition? Because to me, that's like the coolest job to migrate into when you're done playing football. It just makes complete sense.
Yeah, no, it was it's fantastic changeover. I mean, very similar to like the locker room. We got like our own locker room with the fire department. It's very similar to the locker room with the football team. And, when I moved out to Binbrook, which is where I moved to live when I was playing, I started volunteering out here. Did a couple of years volunteer fire department while I was still playing. And then it was just a natural progression that I figured out, like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I mean, everyone would love to play football forever, but we all know that's not part of the plan. And it was a lot easier to go it on my own terms, as I'm sure you guys know.
yeah, no doubt. Did
Absolutely.
you just stick us? He just stuck us with a
He
knife
got
right
us.
there.
He's got to get us every so often. He's
gotta
allowed
get
us
us.
every so often. We get him. He's got to get us.
So Sandy, you mentioned the kind of the team aspect, firefighters. I got a lot of buddies that are firefighters as well, and hats off to you, pal. It's awesome that you're doing that. But do you guys stir drinks and stuff like that? Do you guys have any of that going on in that room?
How crazy does it
How
get?
crazy, guys?
Is it like
Is there
the
drinks? Is there drink
VRL?
stirrings?
There will be nothing like a football locker room. There'll be nothing like a Ticats football locker room. But we do a few pranks here and there, but they're substantially tamer than what maybe we got away with back in the day. That's for sure. You got to tone it down a little
We
bit.
would go to jail. We would go to jail. Yeah, we'd be in jail.
Yeah, you got people to protect. You can't be doing what we were doing. Okay, who's the best? I always, you see these movies, you see the shows about firefighters, and everybody's there, and they're all cooking this big feast, and they got the pot of sauce that they're making. Is that what happens? Like, give me the lowdown of what it's like in there.
We like to eat. We get some good food. We got some good cooks. We got some guys that spend quite a lot of time researching, especially if you're the new guy on the roster. Like the rookie. The best way to get in good with the boys is if you're a good cook.
Nice. See,
There's two ways.
you got to bring the.
You got to clean the hall, you got to clean the toilets, and you got to be able to cook.
Oof.
You know what they have for the toilets? They got that blue stuff you just shoot in the toilet and then let it flush a few times. That's what they do to clean them up. There's going to be some bad ones in there, right? Not as bad as the locker room, but some firefighters eating well, and then blowing it up. Not good in there. Not good.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when the new rookie's on the department, it seems like they always forget to flush as well. So.
Oh, dear goodness. Let's change this subject. We're here with Sandy Beveridge, former Ticats Safety, now saving lives as a firefighter. You're still in Binbrook, though, right?
I still live out here,
Is
yeah.
that where your house is?
Yep.
Yeah, and is that where that's where the station is, too?
No, the station I work at now, currently, I'm down on Kenilworth North. I'm down in the East End. Kenilworth and Roxborough is my home.
Nice.
Yeah. So not too far from the stadium.
Oh, so you're busy.
I am very busy.
You get a lot of calls.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
So what kind of calls would you get, Sandy? Give me a kind of a... Well, first of all, let's start from the beginning. Are you on like a 24-hour shift? I don't remember how it worked. Can you explain to people how kind of being a firefighter, what the day in the life is?
Yeah, so we do work the 24-hour shift. So I go in at 7 a.m. one morning and I get off at 7 a.m. the next morning. And we usually do, on average, about 2 to 3 of those a week. Obviously, we get significant time off in between. But yeah, so we go in the morning, check over all the trucks, do all the cleaning of the hall. Then we got drill during the day, eat lunch, drill in the afternoon, eat dinner, and then all calls in between. And obviously a little bit of rest time at night, barring calls. But yeah, we respond to everything. Medical calls, CO detectors, smoke detectors, alarm conditions, vehicle accidents, cats in a tree. No, I don't think we do those ones anymore. But yeah, it's a wide variety.
Have you ever been called to somewhere where you know the person, or you played with the person, or how? Like, and I mean, I don't mean to have any grotesque calls.
No.
I'm just curious if you show up somewhere like, oh my God, I know you.
Yeah, Carl Coulter last week they had a call for him.
Almost need the defibrillator on it.
After his resounding speech at Danny Mac's function, yeah. He could have used maybe a little help after that.
Oh, boy. He was hurting.
I loved every minute of it. Every minute of it.
Of course you did. You were getting him riled up. Another story. One more.
Oh, my gosh. That's the best. So, Sandy, we gotta talk about. We've talked about on this show. I think this is our 30-second show or something.
Okay.
We've done this. It's been just over a year, and we got to talk about training camp when you first came up to camp. Like, what were your thoughts when you were coming in as a rookie? Because we were there, and I know we invited you into the beer room, and we had some good times. And we always talk about guys. We made guys dress up in their khaki pants and a shirt or whatever. They come in and they serve the beer. Like, what was your experience? Like, tell us, because I know what mine was. It was pretty cool. But tell us what your thoughts.
Yeah, no, it was awesome. So I came out there only expecting to be there for the 2 weeks of camp, probably because the Ticats sent me a return flight for the last day of camp when they signed me. So I was like, this probably isn't going to last too long, but I'll make the most of it. So I was kind of following Hitch around, trying to learn as much as I could before I went back to school. I mean, I didn't end up making it there, but I remember the one day when he came up to me and he goes, you got any nice clothes in your suitcase? I go, no, I got 2 weeks worth of clothes here. I got nothing. I didn't think I was staying, so I brought nothing with me. I had a little duffel bag, and he's like, put on whatever the best thing you got is, and you're coming over and serving beer tonight. And I said, all right, I'm in.
Yeah.
And
you know what that meant.
Oh yeah, I knew what that meant. So I
made the team.
Came in there and started serving to everyone. And that's actually the first time I got the nickname Frosty was from Carl Coulter and Oz Boselson.
That's right.
So I'm carrying around the beers. They're like, give me another Frosty Beveridge. And I was over there filling up all the beers and walking them around. And every time, the last one on the tray, that one's yours. The last one on the tray, that one's yours. And then you got to chug it and go back and get another round for everyone else. So, yeah.
And then go to dinner. With 8 in you.
Oh, yeah. And that was the beauty of Ronnie, right? We didn't have to eat dinner. We just had to sign in for dinner. He didn't give a shit if we ate. But we had to get there, and then from there straight to meetings, and oh, my God, I felt bad for you guys. Well, I kind of felt bad. At the same time, you were welcomed into the family.
Yeah,
so it's kind of a rite of passage.
It's true. And there were certain guys and they would come in and sign at the last minute, the last minute before dinner was finished, and then, beeline it to the meetings. But yeah, it was
sleeping. Take notes. Take notes. I'm sleeping.
It definitely felt like a rite of passage. That's for sure. You're kind of accepted to the group. You're like an outsider until you get brought in, and then you're part of it. So yeah, it was a great experience.
Yeah. Oh, you had a heck of a career, Sandy. I mean, it was nice to watch and to see. How many years was it? 9? How many years did you play?
8. 8 years.
8, okay,
2003, 2010. Yeah, so pretty good run.
All in Hamilton, right?
All in Hamilton.
You didn't go elsewhere, did you?
No, stayed the whole time.
Yeah.
He didn't take off like us.
You didn't really take off. You were forced out. I was forced out, but I had a couple bounces here and there. You know how it goes. But you ended up marrying a Ticat cheerleader. Right, which is
my wife.
Forbidden fruit when you're playing. But your wife's a lovely lady. But you guys met, I guess, obviously during your time here playing in Hamilton, and then went on to get married, have a beautiful family. And what is her thoughts of everything? You know what? I never really thought about. We're so concerned with the locker room and all the guys in the locker room and everything staying there. But I never really think about what the people that are one step removed, like the cheerleaders or people just outside the organization, the front office. What was her interpretation of her time with the Cats?
She loved her time there as a cheerleader. Yeah, she thought it was great. And the best part about her is she's very accepting of everything that we did, because she was kind of around.
You have to be.
She was kind of around it quite a bit. She got to see what we were up to here and there, and I met her when I first got here, and we dated for off and on for a couple of years, and then we kind of went our separate ways, and we reunited later on, and things actually went fantastic, and now we got 2 beautiful daughters, and it's great. I mean, who would have thought? I mean, it's kind of your prototypical football player cheerleader scenario, but it wasn't anything I was looking for. I don't think she was looking for it either. It just kind of fucking fell in place.
Yeah, I don't think she was looking for it when she saw what kind of knuckleheads we were. But then at the same time, she knows it all. There's no secrets. It's perfect. You're good to go.
Yeah, there is no secret. Yeah. She knows it all, and some of it I'm sure she doesn't want to know, but she knows it.
Well,
you're in good hands, Sandy. You're in good hands with us.
My wife, who's not from here, she's from the U.S. I met her in Vegas, of all places, and I was there for a stag with my buddies. So my buddies did not expect me to go to Vegas, fall in love, and get married to someone I met there. So they probably misbehaved a little bit too. But the wife has seen it all. And it's almost better that way.
I remember the day when Mike met her in Vegas, because he called me and says, "Yeah, I just met somebody." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Well, he goes, "No, this is it. This is it." I think. I said, "What do you mean this is it? You met her like an hour ago."
I may have sent you a picture. I hope you don't have it on your phone still.
You know what? I wasn't going to say you did, but I don't have it anymore. I wish I did. I'd put it on the screen. He did send a nice picture. You know what? I'm going to look for that, because you did. Hey, Jen, if you're listening, he did send a picture. I don't know where you were. You might have been in the shower. I don't know, but I'm just kidding.
It's Vegas. Who knows? I don't even
Who knows?
I just know I sent the picture.
Yeah, you did, but I don't have it anymore, Mitzi. I would tell you if I did.
I know you would. You tell everybody else, too.
So for our listeners, I think, Sandy, I don't know how many we have now. We might have like 32 now, but some of them just listen and some actually look at the video. So we are talking with Sandy Beveridge. One of the funniest guys, just a hard hitter. I don't know. Did you ever, when you came up and you saw, other safeties and that hitting, like I kind of went down to linebacker. I played safety. Did you take anything away from like our hard hitting defenses? Like we had, Calvin Tiggles, we had the Steinhauers, we had a lot of guys that would just love to come up and lay the wood. And I know when you got out there, especially on some special teams, and when you got out there at safety, I saw a little bit of kind of me and a lot of the guys. Cause I don't know if you took that where you just thought you had to go out and crush someone, because that's how I came into the league. And I don't know. Tell us your thoughts.
Yeah, I think all the guys like ahead of me, like yourself, like just ingrained it in us that, like if you wear the black and gold, you got to be tough. You got to hit hard. You got to impose your will on the other team. And I'd always kind of watched you from afar. Like I was a big CFL fan growing up. Any football, really. I'd watch college, NFL, CFL, anything. And I remember watching you, and I just thought like I was kind of a similar player to what you were. Like I think you've probably talked about it before. Hated doing one-on-ones. I just wanted to roam around back there and hit somebody. When I heard them call cover zero, I was like, oh God, again? No. Not cover zero. Please. Cover one, cover three, anything but cover zero. Just let me roam around back here and hit somebody. That was always what I wanted to do. But probably very similar to you. And, I kind of... That's kind of what I took from it. And I'd watched all the defensive highlights from Hamilton. They would bring him in sometimes, and you'd just be like, yeah, that's what this fan base wants. This is what I want to be.
Yeah, definitely similar. Definitely some similarities, that's for sure.
No, but every time Sandy you got in, you made an impact. And Kyle was the same way, right? It was Hitch and Kyle and Sandy, and they all spent their time rotating through. And, there's nothing better, I think, then you'll appreciate this, Rob, when you're like a veteran and you see the young guys come in and you don't know anything about them. They're in training camp. You get to know them. But once that first preseason game comes or a regular season game comes, they come out and do something. You're like, wow, that dude can play. And that's what we saw in Sandy. Like, this kid can play.
Yeah.
He can play. Which is
just
great.
no cover zero, just like
no
me.
Cover
no cover zero.
No cover zero for Rob either.
Sudsy used to say, come down and spy and play cover zero. I said, I'll play cover zero at 18 yards deep for sure, 100%. No problem.
But you two both, but maybe you specifically, Sandy, you would have had to go up, myself excluded, against a really good receiving core in the years that you played. Like, how did that make you better, or what did you learn from guys like Flutie or the guys that you played against? That must have been a really cool experience.
Yeah, absolutely. You always learn, especially being on the scout team, you're going up against all the best guys all the time, right? So when you're backing up and on special teams, that's the best time for you to learn. It's not just scripted plays that your defense is supposed to be able to cover. It's plays that the offense is supposed to win on all the time, primarily. And you get to learn from watching them and the different nuances that they do. And, with Danny Mac going in last week to the Wall of Honor, which is an incredible accomplishment for him, I learned a lot by watching him, because you learn so much as a safety by watching the quarterback and where their eyes go and how they trick you and different ways they want to push you so they can open up something somewhere else. And I just remember so many times being on the scout team, and with Danny, I'd be running the opposite way that he ended up throwing. I'd be running across the field to the left on a crossing route, and at the last second, he would just throw blind to the right. And I'm just like, oh my God, he got me again. How many more times am I going to do this?
Don't, you're making me look bad.
Yeah,
please.
I'm trying to read his eyes, but his eyes are going to a totally different place than where the ball's going. And I'm just like, oh man. So yeah, I think those years on the scout team is maybe when I learned the most, building up to be a starter eventually, when I was backing up Hitch and Kyle for a little bit when Hitch got hurt. And, those are the times, those extra reps that, once you're the starter, you don't really want to take anymore. You're like, scout team. Get out there, somebody else, please. But those are the.
But you took them. You went out there.
Yeah. So I took them all, and I found that those were some of the best learning times. Is when, it's not exactly scripted the way you think it's going to come, and they make it tough on you too, because they try to put you out of position to the plays that they want to call. So, kind of work a little bit harder that way.
I remember a couple times at camp, and I was getting tired, and I'm like, Sandy, go in. Just go in. We'll take a few plays.
Yeah, but as a guy that wants your job, he was like, absolutely, I'll take as many reps as I can get. And Rob's like, I don't care. Take as many as you want.
Until he starts making interceptions and plays. Okay, out, kid. Get out.
I'm coming back in.
Get out, kid. Get out of here.
That's how it works.
You talked about Danny, what you learned on the field from Danny. What did you learn off the field from Danny? Because there's some good lessons to be learned there. I could specifically, there's 1,000 of these memories I have, but I can specifically remember that night in Ottawa when we had already clinched up the playoffs, and we had remember it was raining. Rob and I have talked about this on the show, and we were out at some bar, and we just decided and I think you were encouraging it, by the way, Sandy.
Yeah.
Or whether you were encouraging or not, you were part of it. We made you part of it, or you were waving the flag. I can't remember.
I remember this vividly.
Tell us your
I remember he was right with us.
I vividly remember this, because I only thought I was playing special teams the next day. So you guys are all going out. So I come along, I'm like, I'll go out or whatever. We're clinched. The game kind of means nothing. I'm only going to be playing, 20, 30 snaps of special teams maybe. So this night kind of gets away from us. It's going and going and going. And it's an afternoon game the next day. It's a day game, right? Yes.
1 o'clock.
So unknown to me, and I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but you guys played one series. So I dragged my ass in to the locker room, and I'm looking around, I'm like, oh man, I feel bad for these guys. They got to play the whole game. And I only got special teams, but I'll be okay. Robbie goes out there for one series, and they go, Beveridge, you're in. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, you got the rest of the game. I'm like, no. I'm like, I still got all the special teams to play. I'm on all four special teams. Unannounced to me, you're going in for the rest of the game. And then it just starts pouring rain, which was kind of like a savior. It was kind of a savior, because if it was hot, I don't know.
It slowed it down.
Slowed it down a little bit. But yeah, I totally remember that night very well. We were all out, and we never went out the night before the game, but I was like, okay, well, everyone else is kind of doing it. I'll go along with the ride. And
we went out. We went deep.
We were down in the market that night.
I don't know what time.
I think we were in the market somewhere,
I don't know what time we got home.
Yeah.
But I would imagine, because I was dying the next day. I was
Dying.
like, you gotta be kidding me. And
No.
I was thinking, the guy's gotta still be drunk.
Yeah,
There's no way.
We smelled a lot. I know for a fact,
my
because
God.
I remember, Sandy, I don't know if you got nicked up just for, you were out for a couple of plays, because they shoved me back in. And I'm like, I already had the jacket on. Everything was off. I had everything done. Couldn't even find my mouth guard. I went back in for a play, or for a series, I think it was. And I'll never forget it. A guy came across the middle, and I bit up. It was a pump. And all of a sudden, he ran up the field, and they threw it over my head. The guy ran for like a 60-yard touchdown. As soon as he threw the ball, I stopped in the middle of the field. I turned and looked right over my head. I didn't even move. He sprinted 60-yard touchdown. I walked right off like Ozzy does when he gets his tee. He walks right off the sideline. They're looking at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, I was going for the hit. Thank God. You must have got nicked, because you went right back in again. So thank God I was done. Oh, God, I was done.
Yeah,
I thought I was going to get cut.
I think I got beat up on a kickoff coverage or something. I had to take a play or two off. Sorry about that, but
Yeah, it's okay. Your 30th series, your 30th play in the special teams. Oh my gosh!
Good time. And believe me, we all know, Sandy. There's like 100 more of those. Not always the day before a game. Don't get me wrong. This is just
But going back to
there were a lot of those.
Danny
nights.
was there as well. So
Yes, Danny.
That's how it all. That's how it originated, right? Then just another Danny story.
Yeah.
Leading the team the night before the game.
How do you say no to Danny? You
can't.
can't say
You
no
don't.
to Danny.
You don't.
So you do. So it's like, okay, I guess this is what we're doing.
Flutie was there with
go.
a full wallet of money and didn't spend a dime. Full, not a dime. Oh, we have to say, Sandy, we do have to congratulate you, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You don't even know this. You are going to be the alumnus of distinction on Friday.
Oh, big game too, buddy.
Big game. Hey, they win.
Big
They win.
game.
Basically, they got to win one, and hopefully
This is
Saskatchewan
good.
loses and they're in. But you know what? You're
Beautiful.
You're going to be running out the team. Don't trip on the thing.
Don't do Rob's like
Don't
raise the
don't
roof
do this
with
with
the
the shoulders.
shoulders.
Just it's tough. I can't do it anymore. But hey, congratulations, my friend. Mike and I, as you know, we did that at Labor Day, and we had a tandem. It was fun doing it with two. You're gonna have to do an Oski wee wee. You're gonna have to do all that fun stuff. But you know what?
All right.
I know you're still a huge part of the organization. But congratulations, pal. That's what a great honor.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's awesome. You got any tips on what to do with that sledgehammer when I bring it out, or?
We didn't have this.
We didn't have it. It's too heavy for us.
Too heavy. Oh, we're over 50. Buddy.
Smart.
They lifted
Very
sledgehammers
smart.
now. We had the flag.
Too heavy.
The
Too
flag.
heavy.
The flag.
That might have been worse, the flag, because it was windy.
You'll be
Beautiful.
just fine, buddy. You know what it's like you run out there. It's the thrill of running out there. We haven't done it since we played. And the stadium's beautiful, eh? From the middle of the field looking around, like that's kind of a cool environment to be in.
Yes.
It's nice to be recognized. The important thing is your family gets to be part of it, because your kids never saw you play.
No.
My kids never saw you
exactly.
play. Hitch's kids never saw you play, which is insane to me. What are you going to think to Rob? Because Rob's old as dirt and he's been married a long time. But those are the experiences that are really, really cool. It's really not about us.
No.
It's about, the family getting out there, right?
It's always about us.
It's about
Some things never change.
No.
Some things never change.
No, it's about us. Come on, let's put it to. Come on, it's fun that we're talking about the fans, but it's about us. Come on.
Yeah, it's a good time. But you're really heavily involved in the alumni, right, Sandy? You
Yes.
jumped right in
Yeah.
with Ryan Donnelly, and so maybe why don't you tell the fans a little bit about the alumni, what you guys are doing, and how they can help.
So I'm on the board of directors for the Alumni Association. We got quite a few guys that are now involved in it, trying to get a little bit younger demographic to do some more stuff around the city. We help with minor football, we're launching our alumni support fund, in which we're going to help former players who have medical issues or, anytime going through something tough in life, we can support them to try to help them get back on track. And that's what we're doing right now. And it's good for the camaraderie. We had a big role in the Wall of Honor dinner we do every time, and we help do that. We have our golf tournament every summer. And we're just raising money to help local minor football and former alumni that need help.
Awesome.
Awesome, buddy. Now you going to the Grey Cup this year. Is that part of the agenda, or is that who from the alumni goes, or is that like a nice to do if you can?
It's a nice to do if you can. We usually send out at least one representative from every alumni association. We have a general meeting there.
Right.
Whether I'll be participating this year, still a little up in the air. The weekend's open. Let's just say that. Let's just
okay. The week you've heard.
We'll put it in for
let's see who's there. Let's see who's there.
We'll get it. We'll put a word for you. We'll talk to Donnelly.
And then we're hosting again in next year, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously alumni will be a big influence on that, and we'll just have a good time, regardless of what's going on. So
we'll be a huge part of the Hamilton Grey Cup, and I'll be everywhere again as usual, and I'm sure all you both will be too, and we'll make it quite the weekend, I'm sure. A little bit even bigger than the last one.
Yeah, that'll be good, buddy.
And speaking with Bob Young on our show about a month ago, he said that it will be bigger and better. This one coming up, so just because of the restrictions with COVID. So I'm looking forward to that to see. It was well put on at the convention center, but it sounds like it's gonna be a lot bigger and a lot better. So
Awesome.
hey, looking forward to it.
Me too.
Should be good. Well, listen, Sandy, we're going to wrap this thing up, buddy. It was great to see you.
Great seeing you.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the Alumnus of Distinction. This Friday, Cats got to win to keep their playoff hopes alive. You're an awesome teammate, buddy. You're a good friend. We're happy you came on the show.
Yeah.
It's always fun to we ran into you last week, but to be able to a blast from the past is and that knows what it was like to be in that locker room is kind of a cool thing.
Love
Awesome.
it, man. Take care of yourself, and I'm sure we'll see you now. See you on Friday. If Mike goes, I don't think he's going to go unless he gets free tickets. So
I don't have it decided yet. It's kind of warm at home.
I'll be there, buddy. I'll be there. We'll have a ride.
I'll
Okay.
probably be
Sounds
there
good.
too. Who you kidding? I'll talk
right.
to you guys later.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
fellas.
See you guys.
That's another episode of Morreale and Hitch on the Ticats Audio Network. Have a question or a comment for them? Email us at mnh@ticats.ca. That's MANDH@ticats.ca.